TREYARCH just responded to the community hate for Black Ops 6. Specifically, some big zombies changes were reverted. We'll break down those patch notes in this video and some more updates as well. And big announcement, I am moving. So I currently live, of course, as you can see, in a Dreisendrach in Austria. But I want to get out of here. It's a bit too cold. I want to go somewhere a bit warmer. So let me know down below where I should move to. But first off, very quickly, have no fear, the doctor is present. All new COD Zombies U2's drops for January 15th. Of course, 115 days. So let's first watch this quick clip here. This is actually pretty cool. So, of course, nothing really related to the main Call of Duty release, but it's just cool to see other third-party companies making some cool zombies-themed content. We've always seen stuff like this in the past, but, you know, this would have been cool to have them make this type of stuff and then add it to a, you know, huge collector's edition. Like if we got this stuff alongside of the BO3 Juggernaut fridge, or the Juggernog fridge, I should say, or the BO4 mystery box collector's item, and all these different things that they used to do back in the day, which they don't do anymore, which is so unfortunate. Having little figurines, stuff like this, whatever they want to do, a part of those big collector's editions, that's fire. So you can still buy it separately. I guess that's still cool, but I wish this was around a bit more, and they did a lot more of this back in the day, which they did, but if they could have done a little more, and I wish they still did it now, especially. So at least we still have it on the side. Still pretty cool. The rest of the Primus crew, Ultimus crew, you know, of course, to see like the Transit crew as well, you know, stuff like that would be so fire. We'll see how far they go with this, but it's not a big deal, but I find it pretty interesting. And of course, that's for 115 Day, not officially sanctioned by Call of Duty, but what will we see officially sanctioned by Call of Duty? A 115 Day celebration. You know, for Cold War, last Treyarch game, we got a blog post. You know, Firebase C was just revealed, which was the first round-based map. Okay, I didn't really like that map, honestly. They revealed the logo, some stuff on the map. That's really what 115 Day was all about. Tombstone was revealed. Interesting stuff. It was just like a reveal blog post. Black Ops 4 had a bit more, some type of double XP event, double Nebulum as well, whatever it was called back in the day, celebrating the community. They always do different fan art for zombies content, people dressing up. Okay, so interesting stuff. Well, this was 115 Day, I guess, after BO4 was already out, because Tagged or Toten, of course, already came out at the end of BO4's life cycle. So this was actually the original 115 Day, also in BO4 2019, and we had same thing, double XP, double weapon XP, double Nebulum, but some other like different updates, master camo progression, classic weapons returning, loot weapons, mastercrafts, camos, black market editions, a bunch of patch notes. So in BO4, for the first year of that season, it was like there was a lot of good stuff actually for 115 specifically. They made it a big deal. This time around, it's going to be in between Season 1 and Season 2. It's also going to be after the Season 1.75 update, which apparently we're going to have that now. That was the Squid Games event, so every season we'll have a premium event towards the end of the season. 115 is just right at the end of Season 1. So it doesn't seem like we're going to get much this year, but it's kind of unfortunate because 115 Day could be a great time to have some massive zombies content, and maybe they'll surprise us this year. Who knows for sure? Keep an eye out for that, though. It doesn't seem likely that we'll have any major content. And before we break down the new updates in BO6, specifically for zombies, quick shout out to U4GM. If you need cheap COD points, rare Black Ops 6 unlock codes, BO6 mastery camos, BO6 easy lobbies, and much more. A bunch of stuff over there. Use code MAT for an extra 5% off. Links are down below. But TREYARCH, of course, had to have a pretty interesting update. Well, I'll run through the normal changes, not normal, but the changes that don't matter too much. Global changes for characters. There's just an issue where Maya's Joyride operator skin would not be visible past 70 meters. UI addressed some visual issues with the events tab. Audio addressed an issue where audio was not playing for event milestone banners in game. Okay. For MP, red light, green light mode, increased XP awarded from match bonus, and stability fixes in MP. But of course, for zombies, they said a little bit here. So they say, hey everyone, let's talk about those changes from January 3rd. The team is always focused on making zombies fun and rewarding. It's why we make video games, but we don't always nail it the first time. Some fixes for bugs or exploits can become lower priority as more important issues come up. I get that, of course, and some need to be held for an update further down the line. So that already is like kind of not just for zombies, but for the game overall, where sometimes there are these glaring issues in the game that are game breaking, and it's not as simple as just releasing some hot fix and getting that fixed as fast as possible. For whatever reason, maybe the issue is a bit more complex to solve. Maybe there's, certain staffing issues at that point in time. They have to work on DLC, they have to work on other stuff, and they just can't get to that issue. So I get that. Obviously, you want to make sure the game fully works as well. The cheating issue in ranked play, I feel like is so big that they really have to figure out. And I don't doubt that they're not trying to figure that issue out, but they have to really, communicate a bit more about that issue, I would say. But in terms of just bugs that we see in the game and that aren't fixed as soon as we would want them to be fixed, they, of course, would want that to be fixed as soon as possible. Sometimes it's just not feasible. So I definitely do get that. But to go through this further, last Friday's changes to Big Game for Shadow Rift, the Shock Charge speedrun Step 4 Terminus, and directed mode spawn delays after 5 looped rounds are prime examples of these. We know it's not fun to see a fix multiple weeks later for something that wasn't bothering you in the first place, so we're reverting the directed mode changes, giving Shadow Rift 4 new buffs, and scheduling a fix to allow speedrunners to safely use the Shock Charge tactic in Terminus again. The first 2 are live now, with the speedrun fix needing some extra testing before it goes live. Interesting that they're actually doing this. I'll just finish this though. Thanks everyone for the reports of the visual effects not showing properly and settled in more. Crashes that could happen when you're using a sword while Ether Shroud is active with the Void Sheath Augment, and the team had produced fixes for these bugs shortly after they popped up, and they're live today. So this one is interesting because this is mostly coming from, I mean, maybe it's also from the casuals, but it seems to be mostly from the hardcore fan base, the YouTubers, the zombie speedrunners, stuff like that, where, as a business, as Treyarch, they made the game for everyone, but most of the people that play Call of Duty are casuals. That's just how it is. So I wonder if this fix or these changes were made for casuals in specific, or it was just something they just thought they wanted to fix, and, the speedrunners came in and more hardcore players came in and said, no, this is not good. And then also maybe they saw, like, direct numbers from casual players playing less, and that could tie into the lower player counts right now for BO6, which I didn't think pertained to zombies, but maybe they do, and maybe they're just like, let's not do anything that makes the game, not less fun, but kind of nerfs people's ability to do things in zombies, and let's revert those changes, because, maybe there are a little less players playing zombies right now than there were at launch, which is normal, obviously. We don't know the full extent of the numbers, but interesting to see them make these changes. So let's run through these actual patch notes here. Settled in more, address an issue where using the Void Sheath Augment for Ether Shroud with one of the elemental swords would cause the match to crash. I mean, that's a pretty big deal, right? Address an issue where many visual effects would stop playing. Directed mode, address an issue where guidance would be incorrect if a player disconnected with a stamp. Address an issue where guidance would be incorrect each time a new stamp spawned. Address an issue where picking up supplies after a stamp was spawned could prevent quest progression. Directed mode overall, remove the extended time between rounds and the delay between spawning zombies after 5 looped rounds at the round cap. Ammo mods for Shadow Rift, activation rates, normal enemy activation rate increase from 15 to 20%, special enemy activation rate increase from 5 to 7%, elite enemy activation rate with big game augment equipped increase from 5% to 7%, cooldown timer decrease cooldown by 25%. And they say the big game augment for Shadow Rift was never intended to one-shot elites, but we know it worked like that for months, and we heard you about this latest change taking too much away from Shadow Rift overall. So never intended for that to be the case, so they nerfed it, but they realized people like it that way. So we've added 4 buffs to make Shadow Rift activate more frequently, including a 25% cooldown reduction to keep it powerful and fun to use. So not reverting exactly back to how it was before, but still, a lot better, right? For LTM highlights and adjustments, dead light, green light, added Liberty Falls to map selection, increase round cap to 20 before exfil, and with the launch of dead light, green light, we wanted to ease players into the LTM with a single map and a 10-round cap before exfil to make sure the majority of players had a chance to be successful without feeling they needed Gobblegums to survive. I guess I can believe that. Okay, basically a bite-sized experience that's not too punishing. It looks like it was too easy and over too soon for a lot of you. I don't agree. I mean, it should have been for all maps to begin with, and a lot higher of a round cap. I don't know if that didn't make much sense, honestly. But starting today, we've added Liberty Falls to the map selection, and we're extending the round cap to 20. After that, we plan week 3's round cap extension based on how crazy the community wants the challenge to get. Okay. And of course, for stability fixes, sometimes bugs appear fixed in testing, but turn out to still be an issue in the live game after the patch note comes out. Okay, that's, unfortunate. I get that. This sucks for everyone involved and could lead to inaccurate patch notes. That's actually cool that they're saying that, so that makes sense, which we never want. The vermin double attack bug is one of these, and like the Terminus speedrun fix, the proper solution for it unfortunately can't be implemented as quickly as some of the other items listed above. So look for these fixes when Season 2 launches on January 28th. So I understand that stuff. A good blog post here overall. There have been some issues with maybe Treyarch not communicating as much as they should be, but this is, I think, a pretty solid update overall. Some pretty important zombies changes. But that's it for this video. Subscribe for more. Shout out to the members, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.